What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Talk to on Tuesdays, hosted by yours truly. Everybody's continuing to stay as safe, uplifted, and encouraged as possible. Definitely want to give a shout out to God, thanking Him for blessing me with another day, week, and opportunity to bring a new episode to y'all. This is a special episode because it is my birthday episode. My birthday, well, you guys will be watching this on Tuesday, March 17th. My birthday was yesterday, March 16th, and I turned 26. So yeah, I'm excited. I feel like 26 is going to be a good time. I'm excited for chapter 26. I feel like it's going to be a lot of reaping good things, and a lot of just bouncing back from the crazy season that I've had before, or just, this past few couple months or whatever. And so, yeah, so I also have a little bit of wine. I don't normally drink at all for these videos just because they're usually centered around, God and, very like motivational encouragement. It doesn't really pour up the glass every episode, but this kind of has something to do with this episode. And then also, like I said, it's my birthday. Well, it's still kind of sort of my birthday. It's only been a day. So, yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it. This video is gonna be all of my videos are pretty informal, you guys know that. But this one's just gonna be me talking really to the camera, to my future self, to you guys, and just vibing out. I'm gonna kind of start revamping these episodes as we go along. I'm gonna try to stop saying as much as a filler word and just talk. But but yeah, so yeah, I'm excited. Let's just get right into it. First things first, I want to start opening up with an icebreaker. And even though it's quite literally just me on most of these episodes, it'll help when I have guests. I used to do that when I had guests, and I need to figure out some new guests to bring on for season 2. But until then, today's icebreaker is going to be very fun. And it's going to be if you were an ice cream, like flavored, hello? What flavor of ice cream would you be? If you could be any flavor of ice cream, what would you be? I actually had this question, I don't know, from something I used to do in school, like some kind of class or some kind of Zoom call. And that was like one of the icebreakers. And it always stuck with me. That one and the one that's like, if you were a condiment, what would you be? So for me, if I was an ice cream flavor, I feel like I'd be salted caramel because I'm very sweet with a dash of salt. And like the salt just kind of comes in pockets. You know what I mean? Like mostly sweet, very creamy, rich, tasty, you know what I'm saying? Like just very like comforting, you know what I mean? So for some people maybe too sweet and that's okay. But just like good, just a good flavor of ice cream. You can mix it in with other things, other flavors, and it'll balance out right. Like that's just how I feel. So yeah, if you want to drop in the comments or whatever, if you were an ice cream flavor, what would you be? Let me know. But salted caramel is definitely mine. Not only because it's one of my favorite flavors in like real life, but like I just feel like it's a happy balance. And so yeah, that's that. Like I said, because it's just me, obviously, nobody else can answer the question for me right now. But like I said, if you guys want to leave that down in the comments below, sure, go ahead. And yeah, life has been interesting. I've shared with you guys already kind of like a lot of my struggle stories, I guess you could say, as far as like work and just coming up here, the expectations not being what I thought they would be in regard to work, living on my own for like the first time ever. All of the things I've kind of given you guys a good rundown on that, but I feel like I'm an adult, that's for sure. And it's just so crazy because it's like I said before, what I thought I was gonna get coming out here, I didn't. And it's just been a very interesting life lesson, to be honest, because it's like, it's just weird. It's just like, sometimes I'm genuinely in shock about how similar my experiences have been via work or just from where I was to where I am now as far as work. They have some uncanny similarities, and it's just kind of like, wow, didn't think that I'd be doing that. But like I said, I've talked enough about work. How am I adjusting to living on my own? It's been great. I enjoy it. it is a little lonely, and I think it's because I'm in a state, like a new state by myself. Like my immediate family isn't around, and like if they can't come up the street like how they could when I was in North Carolina. It's a little bit more of a drive. Um, so that's been an adjustment because it's just kind of like, oh, I'm really having to like figure it out up here. You know what I mean? Like go out places by myself, explore things by myself. I've met some new people. I'm not a super like quick, fast in a hurry, new friends kind of girl. Like I'm low key a no new friends kind of girl, if you get what I'm saying. But when I do find people that can surpass the level of being an acquaintance and that I feel like are genuine and are good people, I welcome them in. And I have found some people via my job, ironically enough. So God knew if I wasn't going to have the best leadership, I would make some quality friendships. So I'm grateful for that. And yeah, so yeah, it's just been me trying to figure this thing out. I've been, like I said, I feel like I'm exploring more now than I have in the past. Because when I first started working, I was just working all the time, and then like different events, having to go back home, come up here, people come to visit me. Like I feel like now I'm kind of tapping into my go out and explore more and figure things out, trying restaurants, things of the sort. Because there's a lot to offer up here, and I just feel like take advantage of it. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to go out by yourself. It's not uncommon. Um, so that's what I've been doing, or at least trying to start back up doing. It just depends on work and like what I have to do or whatever. But yeah, living up here is fun. Living by myself is interesting. That's really that on that. I feel like one of the most interesting things that has happened to me since I've been living on my own is that like I have definitely, and I think this is a good thing, but I've definitely been able to um figure myself out a little bit more. Like I've always kind of known who I am, but like being or looking through the lens now versus like back then, it's like I'm learning a lot about myself internally. Like even when it comes down to like processing my emotions and like, stress from work, like how do I balance my life and being up here by myself and living by myself? Because before I had roommates, so it was like I could talk to my roommate, and yes, I could still call people and other things. I get that, but some people physically there, like sometimes you'll run into a random good time, or like my line sister would come get me and be like, hey girl, you trying to go to this place, or you know what I'm saying, our roommate and friend, she might have something to do, or I might come up with something to them. So it was like always a potential like, okay, like there's people here, like I, even if I'm feeling lonely and they don't even know that, like they could still say or do something that can brighten up my day. Here's just kind of like it's just me, so I'm literally like vouching for myself, trying to figure it out for myself. But I've learned a lot about me in this process. And I feel like one of the biggest things I've learned is that I don't enjoy the quiet. Like, I like being by myself. I'm an introvert. Like, I can for sure, you know what I'm saying? Like, go out and come back. And I enjoy coming back to an empty house. But, well, for the most part. But it's like, to know me is to know that for the longest times, like processing emotions and like just going through the whole you dig was just never really my thing. And living alone, like even if there's no triggers per se, or like nothing's happening to me that would make me want to kind of like, you feel me, come out with it. Being here by myself gives me the opportunity to think more. Like even when I don't have to work and I'm here in the house, or if I don't want to go outside, it's like I feel like I have to be busybodied, and it's just kind of like, no, it's okay to just sit and be and breathe and just relax. You know what I mean? Or I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just take a nap because I don't want to like be up and think about stuff. It's like, no, girl, think those things through. I mean, well, I haven't journaled a lot of stuff in here, but journaling has helped me since I've started journaling. So like sometimes I'll journal, or like these, my Talk to Him Tuesday episodes are definitely a big part of, I guess it's really like online therapy for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like me sharing these things and my experiences with you guys is kind of like a form of therapy. So like I will put what I'm feeling into an episode. But it's just definitely allowed for me to be in a space where I'm like, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm figuring things out about myself. And I can definitely appreciate it, even though it's a little uncomfortable sometimes. But I feel like this whole move for me was about being uncomfortable. And I didn't know that at the time, but kind of getting now, because since I've been here, I've never, or I've yet to, I won't say I have never, but I have yet to fully sit in something and be like, oh my gosh, like this is just so great. Outside the fact that I'm grateful that I have a job and I can take care of my bills and I can, do all the things. But as far as like just having that moment where it's like, whoa, like this is kind of tea. Haven't fully had one of those moments yet. So I just think that being uncomfortable in regards to like figuring out my emotions for myself, all the sorts, kind of goes into play with my experience coming out here in general. Like I feel like I had to be pushed out of the nest in order to spread my wings and fly. So it's been cool. It's been very interesting. I feel like I've gotten to baking a lot more, which is good. I did kind of like put a pause on it once things started picking up work, but I have gotten into baking more, and I've had the opportunity to, share some treats with my coworkers. They've had the opportunity to taste my product and things of the sort, so that's been fun. I've been cooking a lot more too than I feel like I used to, trying new meals and things of the sort. Getting into my avocado cottage cheese bag. You know what I'm saying? The girlies out there who understand what protein does and good fats does for the body. Thank you. Summer's coming up. You want to be skinny eating. Get on that cottage cheese. Get on that avocado. Get on that sweet potato, but not too much. Get on, what else? Get on, it's me looking at my refrigerator so I can try to jog my memory. Get on that Greek yogurt. Like, get on it. And let it do your body well, because that's what it's for. We love a good protein-based meal. So I've been in the kitchen for sure, tapping into things like that, and the kitchen has always been a happy place of mine. So just having my own space and a room to do that has been super fun. What else can I update you guys on? I really don't even know. I should probably write down some questions, but it's like, we're working on it. Each episode's gonna get better in the name of Jesus. You know what I mean? Like, we're just gonna keep getting better. So I started off the icebreaker on this one. We'll have a list of questions for the next one or something. What else do I want to talk about? My goodness. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like I haven't done I don't know that I've ever done a just talk about me post. Maybe in like the beginning, but I don't know. Let's talk about my birthday. That just passed, like I said. So I had a great time. This was probably one of the more chiller birthdays. I guess I still went out with my, my sister's friends, coworkers, like, and I definitely still, turned up a little bit, like went to the club or whatever. But this was like the first birthday in a while where I didn't take a trip, and I didn't like overexert myself, I guess you could say. Like, yes, I, have my little 1-2 step at the club or whatever, but like I didn't find myself stressing out about my birthday like how I normally do. We're trying to like plan things and coordinate and get the money here and do this and like, what do y'all want to do? What do you not want to do? Like, all of that, I didn't really have to go through that. Plus my car decided to, want to do some things that also kind of put a halt on a lot of things. But again, getting into my adulting era, and realizing that you just have to prioritize, pick and choose, like what's worth it and what's not. Like, I could have taken a trip, but like I would have came back and would have had to deal with a car. So spending that money on the trip and not the car is not really where it's at right now. Because that's how I get to work, how I get to work to make the money that I make. So all in all, I feel like it was a good birthday. My mom was up here, my aunties were up here. I had good food, good drinks, good vibes. I'm not gonna lie, I still got probably a little too lit more than I wanted to, but looking back, it could have been worse. There are other horror stories and things that could have happened that could have really, you know what I'm saying, like took a turn for the worse. So like I'm not even gonna stress myself out about that too much, but still working on that. Hence why this is also in the video. It's gonna be a great segue after I finish my birthday little rundown. But I had a good time, and like I said, I feel really good about year 26, chapter 26. I feel like I said, God is going to really, it's gonna be basically I'm gonna know that all the blessings and things and positive turns of events, it's gonna be only God can do it. That's just the model, that's the vibe. Like only God can do it, only God did it. He's the only person who can get credit for it, kind of thing. So I'm excited to just see what he has in store for me, because he's been dropping hits. And I've been like, all right, Lord, when you gonna release it, let me know, because I'm ready. But I actually did have to genuinely get ready for it, because I realized that a big part of, or I guess like a big or key element to when God blesses you is how you steward that. Like I said in my last video, you have to be a good steward of the things that he gives you. Because if he can't trust you with pennies, why would he trust you with millions? You know what I'm saying? If he can't trust you to own a home, if he can't trust you to stay in an apartment and keep the apartment up to, in good standards, why would he bless you with a home? You know what I mean? If he can't trust you with a skateboard, why would he give you a bike? Or why would he give you a car? You know what I'm saying? So a big lesson for me is just discipline. And I feel like I've learned and still are learning how to make sure I'm a good steward of the things when he blesses me. Make sure that if I tell him something, I keep my word to him in the same way that he's kept his word to me. And so that's why I think I very well believe I delayed a couple of my blessings on behalf of myself, for sure. Like, there was definitely some things that I did he was probably like, you know what? She's still not ready. She had to go run, but like, she's still not ready. And so I want to be ready. I definitely do. And I want to be able to, like I said, be a good steward and just do what I'm supposed to do with the things that he's given me. Because it's important to me. And it's not even just about continuing to be blessed because of that, but it's genuinely important to me for him to be proud of me being a good steward of what he's given me. So I'm excited. Sometimes it does get on the little, close to the side of impatience, but like, I'm like, you know what, it's coming. And when it comes, it's going to be worth it. And it's going to be suddenly, so I'm excited. I'm very excited for that. And like I said, I feel like all the hardships that I've experienced thus far is definitely part of the story, success story. And so, yeah, overall birthday was a great time. 8.5 out of 10. I will say though, I did wake up sad Sunday, the day before my birthday, and Monday, the morning of my birthday. And I just couldn't really figure out why, but I think it had a lot to do with me kind of like what I was talking about earlier, just waking up alone was like, whoa, you know what I mean? And then still, I don't know. It was just like, something was just like, wow, I'm kind of sad. Grateful to be alive, grateful to, be celebrating my birthday. Nothing went wrong or was crazy, but it was just like, wow, like this is kind of crazy. Like, I'm here and I'm by myself, and like just really taking it in and sitting with myself and feeling my emotions about it was kind of like, whoa. But I'm for sure good now. We're thriving. It's literally only been a day. So day 1 of year 26 has been interesting. I started back to work today, so take a sip on that. But yeah, it was an interesting feeling. And I just think it's all a part of me processing and being a part of the process and all that kind of stuff. But birthday was good. Birthday was a good time. Thank you to everyone who said happy birthday, texted me, called me, DM'd me, posted me, thought about me. Even if you didn't say anything, like, I appreciate it. Well, if it was a good thought, I appreciate it. Because it really, and I had people text me, I had to talk to them. I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all remember little old me? Like, and that's another thing too, I think I realized this year, kind of last year too, but like definitely this year, I used to be so hung up on who was gonna post me for my birthday. Like early college years, like 18, like early, like 18, 19, 20, I used to be so like, oh my gosh, like if a lot of people don't post me, like, it just used to be like a thing for me. And now at the age that I am now, it's like, girl, even if it's just one person posting you, like, that's okay, because I'd rather genuine words, genuine heartfelt messages, and even when people post me having genuine things to say, than to be posted by thousands and thousands of people, but there's no substance there. You know what I mean? Like, they're just saying happy birthday to say it. And so yeah, that was the thing. That was the realization too this year. I'm like, I totally appreciate the text messages, like I said, the kind words that people shared, that they did share on social media. But what I was texted about, what I was called, what people DM'd me, like, it was sweet. And I was like, oh, this is so precious. And I'm just so grateful and like thankful, because like, wow, you guys care. And I always also like too when it comes to like DMs, like I always get surprised by how many people that I don't necessarily know or that I might only be like, you know, in communication with via social media, like how many of them actually will say happy birthday to me too. Like it's cool. Um yeah, that was another realization. And I was just kind of like, wow, like this is really like a thing, you know what I mean? So yeah, it was a great birthday. Cool birthday, cool vibes, all good things. So transitioning to my friend here, I made a video probably like over a year ago now, maybe about a year ago, about my journey with little old liquor, you know, alcohol, and just how part of it just me being young, a part of it was just me not having emotional intelligence, a bunch of the things, right? Just being a girl, figuring it out, trying to like get into it, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I've gotten better. My relationship with alcohol has gotten better. What I've learned is the more I pay attention to what I'm doing before I do it when it comes to drinking, I'm good. You know, as long as that goes back to my like being alone and like having time to actually process emotions, whether it be current things, past things, future things, whatever. Um, if I am able to clear out my conscience, clear out my heart, mind, and soul, then when I'm drinking, it doesn't turn into like, you know, just this emotional outpour or outblast, if you will. And so, yeah, I'm very excited about my journey with this too, because I feel like we're headed towards a positive relationship. Not that it was ever fully negative, but it was kind of negative. And I'm just excited to get to the point where it's me looking at it like it's a person. I'm just excited to get to the point where it's like, well, to be honest, low-key the way drinking affects the body, like the older that you get, I don't even know that if it's given too much of that anyways, you know what I'm saying? It might turn in from liquor to just wine or something like that. And then wine has sugar. So, you know, it's a lot. But nonetheless, for right now, I'm excited about the relationship and like being able to have that healthy balance, you know what I mean? Because I do like to turn up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, whether it's in the house or out of the house. But I just want to make sure, again, that I'm being a good steward no matter what, okay? Not out here looking crazy, acting crazy, being crazy. Um, and yeah, and to that I say, I also feel like it was kind of important, like the symbolization of actually physically holding the liquor, because like I said, in the video that I've already posted on my YouTube channel a while ago, it explained kind of like my journey of pretty much discovering the issue with me drinking sometimes. But um what was I gonna say? In that video, it was just more so like I said, just about the journey and kind of where I was, but most of where I wanted to be. And I think I haven't really touched on that or talked about it since then. And I can honestly say not every experience is, you know, what I want it to be, but I feel like I'm getting better. And the goal is to just continue to get better, continue to be healthier, happier, more whole, you know? Um, and so I say to you, and why I put this in the video, is because sometimes we have to take hold of the very thing or things that we think have control of our lives or may have negative impacts on our lives or maybe might try to be a distraction to our lives. And we have to let that thing know that they don't have the authority. You get what I'm saying? Like, this doesn't have the authority of how I act anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to waver or be the reason why I have emotional outbursts, sort of gets me to be like, I'm doing the work outside of it. So that way, if I want to enjoy a glass of whatever is in the cup, I can, I will, and I'll be okay. I no longer overrules that area of my life. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, to you, I say take that thing, even if you can't physically grab it or touch it, write it down, think about it in your mind, and let it know it has no authority over you, and that it needs to release you. It needs to loose from you, and that if it's something that you, for example, like with drinking, right? If I didn't want to stop drinking, but I want to be a better person when it comes to drinking, then that's my authority over the liquor. Like I said, it's not going to no longer dictate when and where and how I display my emotions. Um, that's going to be up to me, regardless of if I have this or not. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, just take over that thing, take authority of it, and let it know that it cannot hold you back, hold you down, withhold you, withdraw you. Can't do none of that. It doesn't have that kind of power. Only you and us and we as people, individuals, have the power to, you know what I'm saying? We have the power to control what we want to control, at least in most cases. So That's that. Okay. And then what else? Kind of just rambling, y'all. Actually, that doesn't matter. That for sure doesn't matter. Did I say what I'm excited about for 26? I think I did. I'm definitely looking forward to traveling more this year. Of course, I love to travel. I'm a travel girl. That's just what I like to do. And I'm excited to cross off a few more places on the list this year. I know it's kind of crazy with everything going on with Trump and the wars and all that kind of stuff. But I just also am a firm believer too that like God's got it. Like he's not going to I'm just not going for what the world has to say right now. Like it's just really given very much like God can make a diamond, okay, out of dust. So it's like I'm not worried about the world. Obviously I'm going to be cognizant and still cautious. Like I'm not just gonna recklessly just roam through the world. But it's like I'm not gonna let the fear tactics like get to me because it's just like you're just not gonna get to me. You're just not gonna do it. Like you're just totally not gonna do it. So yeah, that's that on that. Like I'm still going to I mean as long as I can, right? Like obviously if things are shut down or on hold, like I can't. But my goal is to still travel. If it's in the Lord's will, I will be, like I said, going to those cities, checking out those places on my list of places I want to travel and or countries I want to travel to, and we're gonna keep thriving. We're gonna keep living. We're gonna keep doing the things that makes us happy because we only have one life to live, and it's ours at the end of the day, Um, and so it's like I would rather say all the things I did do than all the things I didn't do or wish I could have done. Um, so yeah, excited for that. Excited for traveling, getting into the traveling bag again. I feel like one thing I want to let go of in this chapter 26, is it's a couple things. But one thing for sure, I feel like would probably be um y'all I'm really trying to think because it's like I don't know what I want to say. Maybe I don't know. Like, what do I want to let go of? There's definitely some things I need to let go of, but I'm just trying to figure out like what part of me or what like one thing that I'm trying to like grow from that I would want. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna release this in 2026. Um, I think one good thing would be like letting go of like holding back. I guess if that makes sense. Like sometimes I tend to like wait for the right time to do things, and it's like there's really no such thing as the right time unless it's God's timing. And doing things on my own time, typically, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, and that could be when it comes to conflict, when it comes to doing things I want to do for myself, when it comes to doing things I know I should be doing, like just not holding back. Um, and I'm letting go of the idea of like, oh, well, if I don't do it today, I could do it tomorrow. Like, or if I don't have this conversation today, then like I'll just like no, like we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it handled because at the end of the day, like again, like my point earlier, it's our lives to live. You know what I'm saying? I'm only hurting myself more by keeping things to myself. So that's definitely something I want to let go of in the year 26 is just keeping things like tucked in or like again waiting for that perfect timing or right timing because if I'm in control of it, like it's not the right well, I can't say it's not the right timing, but like there is no such thing. Um, like I said, unless it's God's timing. So yeah, that's one thing I definitely want to let go of. One thing I want to welcome into chapter 26 is um I feel like I want to welcome in oh, it's a little tart. What do I want to welcome in? Honestly, good vibes, blessings. I want to welcome in new opportunities. I want to welcome in areas for growth. You know what I'm saying? I want to welcome in just, I don't even know, being able to just do the things that I want to do. Like, I want to welcome in all the good things that God has in store. And, like, not try to have, like, self doubt or, like, I don't deserve this, or what's it called? What is it called? Imposter syndrome or something like that. Like, I don't really have that often, but, like, like, just knowing that, like, it's okay. And also, a thing that I can do sometimes, especially when God blesses me, what I'm gonna let go of too is when I get a blessing, thinking that something bad is gonna happen shortly after that blessing. Like, if that's not always the case. Sometimes God just lets you have a good season just for the sake of having a good season. It could just simply be that you've done a good job and he feels like, okay, I'm gonna bless you because you've done a good job. Or it could be to show you, or it could be his way of showing you how good it can get. Like, but just sit in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes when I get a blessing, I'm like, oh gosh, I got a blessing. Like, that means something might happen. And it's like, girl, no, like, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. We're not doing that. Like, no, you can have this blessing, you can enjoy it, do well over it, make sure you take care of it. But, like, you don't have to think that just because God bless you that, oh my gosh, now he's gonna immediately right after test you. And it's like, no, because sometimes the test is before, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the months of trials and that I already went through, that was the test. Now I could just sit in this good season of positive things because I've already shown him, what I'm saying, what he's needed to see to give me the blessing. So yeah, if you do that, stop. You know what I mean? I get it, because literally, and maybe that's like a anxiety based thing, or I don't know, but it's just like, no, like, we're gonna live in the fruits of our labors. Like, that does not mean, excuse me, that every time you get something good, it has to come with something bad. You know what I'm saying? In the same way, not to bring down the vibe, but like, if you have something bad, then something is gonna come around the corner. Like, sometimes seasons are just seasons. And so when those fruit filling seasons do start to come upon me, I'm going to, like, embrace them. Like I said, welcome them in and let go of the idea that, like, oh gosh, it's gonna be taken from me, or it's gonna have to be like some kind of, like, even Steven complex or whatever. And it's like, no, like, I can enjoy these good things just because I want to, and God's blessed me with them. So yeah. I have to let that go, because I do that not a lot, but more times than I shouldn't. And it's like, girl, like, come on now, let's get it together. Anyway, so yeah. Also, sorry for the sirens. I'm sure you hear them. I hope they're okay also. But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else I want to talk to you guys about? I feel like I've shared quite a bit. Yeah, I'm just excited for chapter 26. And I just can't wait for you guys to see. Because obviously, once I get the momentum going, like I said, we're even working on my Talk to Him Tuesdays, like the production vibes of it, the getting more people on here, the having a better setup. Like, I feel like this was a good start, good transition, I'm saying, into it. But just like building this brand as well, just because I think that, I didn't start this for no reason. I, in fact, actually started this podcast for series. I don't know what this would be called. I don't know if it's a mini series, a podcast, whatever. But I started this because, and I said this a while ago, like on my earlier episodes, because I had a teacher in college, and he was like, because to know me, to know, like, especially upon meeting me, upon meeting me for the first time, I'm very, like, chill, like, I'm quiet, like, I just kind of peep the scene, serve the scene, peep the vibe, and just kind of be like, do I, you know what I'm saying? Do I feel this person? Do I not? Like, how much do I want to share? How much do I not want to share? Like, I'm quiet. And typically, if I don't have nothing to say, I'm not gonna, like, force it. You know what I mean? Like, I've never been the type of person to have to talk just to talk. It's not who I am. So, anyways, all that to say, we were in class, and, like, I rarely ever talked in class. And there was, like, one thing he asked us something. And so he was just like, oh, Like, I want to hear what you have to say talking about me. And he was like, because I feel like you have a lot to say in your brain, but you just don't ever say anything. And low-key clocked my tea because, you know, sometimes that's the case, right? But again, it's like, I don't feel like I need to share it. I don't share it. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay. But ever since he's made that comment, and I've had other people, other teachers, like I said, other people in general will make comments like that, like, oh my gosh, you're so quiet. Like, I know you're thinking something. Like, what are you thinking? Like, what are your thoughts? Da, da, da. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just start posting about it. It was over COVID. Well, I started this over COVID. That situation I think happened my freshman year of college. And that was like the real inspiration of it. And at first, it was just going to be like an all around podcast. Like, I was going to talk about pop culture. I was going to talk about, like, it was going to be like battle of the sexes. Like, and some of those elements still might come into play, but just eventually it kind of just turned into and progressed into this thing where I just started sharing, like I said, my experiences. And it was mainly so based off the fact that he was like, you know, I know you think things, like, what be going on in your mind? You know what I'm saying? And I would just, I don't know, I kind of, I guess, started this as an outlet of that, or like as a response to that question, and just started making these videos. And I think it's been a while since, maybe like a few years, I think, since I've been making these. And that would be kind of cool too. Maybe I can, like, one day make like a compilation of um my, like, certain parts of my videos, just to kind of see the growth of me, just because that was like when I was like 19 or 20, and like I said, now I'm 26. So wow, yeah, that would be interesting. Might have to do that, make a little compilation video. But yeah, I started this just because people kept telling me they were so curious about what I had to say or what was on my mind. I'm like, okay, well, fine. I'm gonna start recording myself and telling you guys what I feel about certain things. And if you agree, great. If you don't, great. So that's kind of the inspiration behind that. But just excited to watch this progress too. And like I said, get more guests back on here, get more conversations going and flowing. I feel like I have a little bit more of a better setup now versus the car. The car was kind of getting old, no shade. So I feel like it's all a part of God's plan and purpose, and I'm just excited. And yeah, I really don't think I have anything else to share. Like I said, this is just it's a post birthday episode. I thought it would be kind of cute because literally it falls on the day after my birthday. So I was like, oh, why not? You know what I mean? Like, why not talk to people, give them a little update about me as I'm starting a new chapter. So yeah, I think that's it. As always, if it blessed you, please share it. And I will see you guys in the next episode. And I'm just excited to, like I said, build the brand with you guys and for you guys to see everything in action, play by play. Y'all are gonna get a play by play of all the good things. So stay tuned, stay up, stay grateful, stay blessed, stay faithful, stay kind. And I'll see y'all next episode. Love you, bye.